everybody. Here we are again. We're just going to get right into this. Is the second round of the grand finale, at least for now, of our creepypasta series. So, thank you for listening.
Happy listening. All right. So, my turn. I'm still in historical archive suggested reading, but I am now in weird micropasta. Michael pasta. This one's called The Portraits. There was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day hunting, found himself in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter plopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around the inside of the cabin, he was surprised to see the wall adorned by several portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred and malice. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable, making a concerned effort to ignore the many hateful faces. He turned to face the wall, and exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep. The next morning, the hunter awoke. He turned, blinking in an unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows.
It's Goldilocks maxing. Yeah,
If this had happened,
this porridge is too hot. This bed is just not right.
This one's got
too soft.
Too many windows with people looking at me as I sleep. And also a big hater of windows at night.
Yeah. That speaks to you.
This really speaks to me and how much I hate it.
Fair.
I've employed a curtain to block my window.
Mm-hmm.
As of late.
Yeah.
And it's been a good vibe.
I like, I have blackout curtains, which I would recommend, definitely, for sure.
So good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, sponsor me, blackout curtains. All right, score on this one.
Scary rating. I will give it a. I'll give it a 3 because it is. While it is very scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Ben, it is indeed very scary to have read this.
Yes.
The creatures didn't do anything to him.
No.
They just kind of stared at him, and it does suck to be stared at, right? And to have. Yeah. You know that, but they at least they left, right? There's nothing about anything getting stolen from him or nothing like that. So it's scary in the way that like
probably their cabin, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like,
what are you doing in my bed? And then they just leave.
Yeah,
it's
so
like very passive aggressive, very northwestern vibes up here.
And at this point, he did walk into this cabin and then sleep there.
Yeah, right.
So maybe they weren't that scary. Maybe they're just really pissed.
Yeah, right.
So it's like
we'll let him sleep though. We're not monsters.
Or are we? But yeah, in terms of scary, it's kind of I don't like being stared at, but they didn't do anything to him other than stare at him menacingly. So it's like completely fine.
Yeah.
It's Gucci.
Right.
Believability. Like this is definitely like one of those like I went into a cabin in the woods and saw something, right? Yeah. This could be like a scary story that your like uncle tells you. Yeah. And then you get scared of it as a kid. So like believability as a child, you're like, oh my God, my uncle did this in the woods. And but as an older person, you're kind of just like, I think my uncle's trying to scare me.
Yeah.
So I'll give this
like, buy it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'll give it a 2.
Okay.
And then overall vibe.
Roll writing too.
Storytelling, writing. I don't know. It was just written.
It's written.
One thing I can say about him is he's alive. Yeah, it wasn't hard to read. It was pretty good. Lots of commas though. Is my experience. Okay. Even wearing my glasses, I had to make sure that it was a comma, not a period. Yeah.
Going like 3.
Yeah. It's like, okay, cool.
Overall vibe.
Yeah, overall vibe. It is like, this is my uncle telling a scary story.
Yeah, right.
Like, my uncle would tell this one, and because in the Philippines, It's like a half man, half horse creature. It's called capre, where like it will lure you into the woods and then like keep you there. If you're a woman, it like takes you for a wife without your consent, blah blah blah. And then for men, it just makes men get lost in the woods. So the thing that you would do is like turn your underwear inside out so that to make sure that you don't get lost in the woods. And if you pee on a tree, don't do it, but also like apologize beforehand because it can live in any tree and you could like
pissing on its house.
Yeah, so you could come away with like injuries for like no reason. And he always used to tell the story of like, hey, he would tell it here in America, and I'm like, I don't think they got that guy here, but just in case he decided to book a flight to the US, he was like, yeah, I went into the woods and I forgot to like turn my underwear inside out and I got lost in there for a while and then I needed to pee. I pee on a tree. And I'm like, listen, you know the stories. Why would you do this? Not to victim blame, but yeah. If I heard there was a big horseman in the woods who purposely lures people in and gets them lost, I simply would not. We're built different.
Right.
And my dad likes to remind me of this story all the time. And I'm just like, Dad, I hate to hear it.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Are we talking like a centaur or like more like what is the half and half situation? Do you know?
From what I remember, it's literally just guy body, horse head.
Horse head. Okay. Reverse centaur, basically.
Yeah. Guy body, horse head.
Horse head.
So it's like, he's just a very tall man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the Philippines, if you're like incredibly tall,
yeah,
some people like in province or like if just older would joke that like you're half like capre, that kind of thing, right? Or like, oh, did your mom like encounter a capre when like she had you as a kid? That kind of thing. Me, because of my short stature.
No risk of
no risk.
No capre in the
no capre in blood.
Yeah. Okay.
Just duende.
That's fair.
Just duende or
just one day.
My mom used to say that she, because of the way that I look and the way that my hair was when I was a little baby, she used to look at little troll dolls when she was pregnant with me, and my grandma would take it away from her because then she'll be like, and the child will pop out looking like a troll doll. And lo and behold, I got the nose of a little troll, I got the skin color of a little troll, and my hair did stick up a lot. So maybe my grandmother was right.
Well, you know what? Trolls are having a moment. They've been really popping off the last decade.
So take that, grandmother.
Yeah.
But this one, uncle telling a story vibe, but not in a bad way. This one's a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah. Folklore-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I have a nice little pairing for that as well.
Ooh.
Grew up in the Arizona desert. People don't realize how fucking weird shit gets out there. Friends and I would camp out there, and guaranteed we'd hear at least a few weird things or see some shit. Don't want to say we got used to it, but we weren't not used to it at the same time. I have a ton of stories, but this one fits the thread theme. Anyway, sometime in early high school, we decided to go out and camp during the long weekend. Parents are all used to it, don't really care. Pack up and hike out onto friends' property, which is massive. Get out to our usual camping spot and notice it's fucking trashed. Not like litter, but the shit itself looks like a tornado went through it. Figure maybe it was a big dust devil. There's some weird scorch marks in the dirt. Pieces of rock almost look melted together. We figure it must have been some big fireworks. There's kind of a weird smell in the air, but it's easily ignored. We decide to stay. Rebuild a fire pit. Everything is fine until the sun goes down. Then we start hearing shit. Sounds like raspy mumbling. None of us have heard anything like it before, but we're all kind of on alert. The sound is getting closer. It seems to be moving in a circle around camp. None of us are armed, but one of us has a hunting knife. Doesn't really make us feel any safer, though. Way too dark to hike back. We're basically stuck out here. Over the course of about an hour, the sound fades and then randomly gets louder. The more we listen to it, the more we start thinking it's not really chanting. It's more like that weird humming sound that power lines make. Starts to smell like hot sand. Friend with the knife is convinced that we're going to get fucking abducted by aliens or something. Starts freaking out and throwing flaming pieces of wood out into the dark. We're telling him he's an idiot and it's probably just some weird animal. Then one of the pieces hits something about 50 yards away. Get a brief glimpse of something rust-colored and almost the texture of steel wool. It had that same kind of loopy ribbon look, if that makes sense. Whatever it is definitely not human or an animal. We all start chucking pieces of flaming stuff at it. It doesn't seem to care. Eventually, there's enough debris that we can get a better look at it. It was like a squarish stick figure, kind of like those Cocopelli things, but without the hair. You familiar with the Cocopelli?
No.
I'll post a Cocopelli
Okay.
in the video, and I'll send you one at the chat.
Okay.
It's made of this shifting rusted wire-looking material. It's letting out that weird humming sound. The ground it touches starts to burn and scorch. Circles around the camp a few times like it wants to come closer, but doesn't want to get close to the light. We're all peeing ourselves, thinking we're about to die. Suddenly, it lets out this really loud metallic shriek and fucking flies backwards like it's rocket-powered. Everyone flips shit. We leave our gear and sprint all the way back to the car. We peel out. Come back for our stuff like a week later. Most of it is burned. Never camp there again.
I don't like that one either. A lot of these, though, I don't like. Yes.
Yes, Cocopelli, the southwestern Native American trickster figure.
Yes. I did not know that was the name. Oh my god.
Icon of Arizona.
At that point,
Yeah.
I'm not. When we were younger, my cousins used to go and camp all the time, and that was like the thing. And my brother and I were never allowed to go because, like, my mom was like, "Why would you go into the woods without us?" Right? There will be adults there, but my mom was like, "As long as we're not there, it's not good."
Right.
But
your parents want to be there.
Yeah, and so the idea of, I don't like a lot of like stalked in the woods while camping stories.
Yeah, it's an effective one, I think.
Yeah, especially
motif.
at like night. And it's like a noise that you're not like too familiar with, especially if they're stories from people who are like, I am
experienced,
like,
outdoors people.
Yeah. Sure. So when they get freaked about a sound, you're like, we're fucked.
We're very much city people, I think. In that regard, we're both like, could be me going.
Yeah,
camping,
we're city boys. The closest we get is mayhaps glamping, but
maybe.
Oh my god, maybe.
Still, a cabin with 3 windows.
With 3 windows, and everyone's staring at you, and you wake up and they're all gone. Well, I mean, okay. Say we weren't city boys.
Yeah.
We're out in the woods. Maybe with 2 more people, because I don't think, one of us died, the other one is get left behind. Right. No, you got to back up, right?
Okay.
Third man, blah blah blah. We're hearing noises. What is scarier to you? Is it could it be an animal? Is it a person? Is it Bigfoot? Is it a creature not known to man? What is running through your mind?
What is running through, like, what the scariest thing be?
Yeah, you can't see it. No, nothing like that. It's so dark. Probably.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't know what a raccoon sounds. Well, I guess I wouldn't probably know what a raccoon. A lot of things I wouldn't know. So like just hearing unfamiliar sounds, I think would be enough for me to be have a hard time sleeping. Probably doesn't necessarily have wouldn't be able to place a Bigfoot if I heard it. Probably. Yeah,
you're not familiar with it. Ooh! You don't have a big call whoop sound in your.
I mean, I know what a Bigfoot's supposed to sound like, but I've never heard a Bigfoot myself.
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah.
No,
What do you think? What would be the scariest thing for you?
I think it is also like I'm not familiar with any sort of sound at night. Any sort of rustling, I'm like, that's an animal. This is an animal's territory. I'm a person who can't see shit. Yeah. Right? Immediately in my mind, there's a man here to kill me.
That's
and then I would go, am I about to meet Bigfoot for the first time?
Yeah.
And what kind of vibe is he bringing?
Yeah, right.
Do I defend, or
is he a chill guy?
Is he a chill guy, or am I about to get my shit rocked? Am I about to get slammed into a tree? Or maybe I'm just
going to be disintegrated by Bigfoot.
Yeah. Is he an interdimensional being in this one? That kind of thing. Or maybe I'm just assuming a lot of things about Bigfoot, and he just is kind of like, hey, the fire is way too much. You're gonna burn this area down. And I'm just like, sorry, Mr. Bigfoot.
Yeah.
The aspect of them throwing things that are on fire into the woods, as a Californian, no.
We're talking Arizona desert, so it's also pretty dry.
It's
dry
like
area. Yeah.
In general, don't do it. But also, like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I don't. You hate to see it. We're boys from the city. We're fellas from the city. We're city town. I just can't I mean, okay. We get invited by our homies over at Discovery. Who is on where are the Monster Hunters on? Discovery Channel? Discovery.
The Mountain Monsters?
Yeah.
Files? West Virginia.
What network?
What are they
Destination
on?
America?
Hulu. Destination America, I believe, yeah. I think so.
Okay. Destination America invites us. They say, we love your
Yeah.
podcast. We love your show. Let's take you out of the internet. Because you guys' niche is you're on the internet. You're online.
Yeah, right.
But what if we take you, millennials, into the woods?
The true woods.
The real woods. You know how everyone's like, millennials, go touch some grass. What if if we make you touch some trees?
We're like the farm life Paris Hilton thing. Yeah.
Right? So what if Destination America shows up at our door? Mm-hmm. Are we doing it?
Yeah. Because I don't think Mountain Monsters is real. We'll be getting into Mountain Monsters soon. But...
yeah. Spoiler alert, we're getting into Mountain Monsters soon for y'all. Just a little get in there. But they're like, and also it's just going to be the two of you and two cameramen. And you're going to be in the woods.
The Mountain Monsters guys won't be there. That's a plus, I think.
Yeah, they're trying to they're going to, the show is going to be, we took these millennials from the internet, put them in the woods to experience true fear. They are going to find Bigfoot. They're not just going to talk shit about people who make Mothman maps and try to dox the person who filmed the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
We're bringing them to the woods.
Yeah.
We're doing it?
Yeah, I think so. Wouldn't you?
You know, I would.
Yeah.
You would be standing in front of me the whole time.
We're doing it together. We're in this together. We got this. Yeah.
They're like, we require both of the millennials.
Yeah. We have to half to one day. Going on here, and whatever the fuck I am.
And the one with a Long Island accent. You know?
Yeah, there we go.
We're doing it? Yeah, we do it.
Yeah, we do it. We're not above it.
Yeah, give us the monies and we'll do it. We'll even ham up the whole oh my god, I've never seen a tree before.
You can produce us. It's fine. We'll go along with it.
Yeah. I'm not even fully under a contract right now. Destination America, you can swoop in.
It could be a producer's dream. We got you.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah. Whatever you want us to say, really.
We'll say it. Destination America, get us on there right now.
Yeah. I'd rather not go to West Virginia. I will say that. I'd rather not. If we can just go to the mountains in California. This
is our chance to go to Yosemite.
You can go to Yosemite.
We can find the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah, there's a lot of missing people in national parks and shit. That's creepy.
Ben's like, add us to that. Yeah, put us down on the roster.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're not gonna get kidnapped by Bigfoot in our sense. We're just going to get lost in Yosemite. Yeah, and we're going to make friends with the Fresno Nightcrawler is a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah, for sure.
That's our elevator pitch, is that you send two millennials who are online looking at memes, and you put them in the woods and they meet the Fresno Nightcrawler. Yeah. It's a meet cute galore.
I'd like to correct you that you keep saying millennials and I'm a Gen Z kid. So,
Are you SRS or JK?
No, I'm SR. I am SRS. I'm an elder Gen Z. I'm the generation below you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're in the same generation as my brother.
We are.
My younger brother.
I think we overlapped at MIT.
This is insane.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Shocking news. So now the pitch is we bring together Gen Z and millennial in one forest. See who wins.
I just need one more Gen, a Gen Alpha kid. The Rizzler. We going with the
Rizzler. Somebody accidentally says the Rizzler's name and that person gets evaporated.
Say the Rizzler 3 times and he appears.
And oh my god. Destination America, get on it.
Get on it.
I don't know what the title is going to be. That's going to be your people's fault.
Yeah, you guys handle all that shit. Yeah. Whatever, we'll be there. We'll be the talent.
We are there. But did you do the ratings?
Can't remember. Let's go through it again.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Scary.
I wouldn't do it. So scary. It's a 4 for me.
Believability. What?
Believability.
Believability.
Okay, so I have to ask, do you think that describing it as a Cocopelli, does that make it less scary or believable, or what do you think?
I think, listen.
Yeah.
Anything that I'm not familiar with, I'm afraid of it.
You're afraid of it? Okay. Anything I don't know, I fear.
And isn't that the basis of fear?
Yeah, right. And then I hate it.
And then you hate it.
Yeah.
And then you try to get it out of here.
Yeah.
For $20.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, believability. Can't prove it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So 3.5.
3.5. Let's go.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
3.5. It's solid. It's decent.
No, it's not a bad read.
It's not a bad read.
Overall vibe.
Overall vibe. I think, it does have a very windswept Southwest desert vibe. So I will give it 4.
Yeah, you can sort of hear the
vibe.
Crackling of
Yeah,
fire.
you can picture being out like in the cold Arizona desert night, and like the smell of this like Cocopelli fire elemental thing creeping around, the hot sand. There's some elements in there where I'm like, yeah, this is really selling the Zona vibe.
Yeah, and I forget that desert is cold as fuck at night.
It's cold as fuck at night, so you're feeling the heat from this thing as it circles your camp. Yeah.
Yeah, and when it gets a little too hot, my eczema really shows on my face and I get really red. So I'd really be feeling that shit.
Yeah.
My God. I like this one. It's scary, but it's also like I like it more than the others.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
All right. Okay.
All right.
I have 2 more left, but I have ventured out of the historic archive aspect of it. Nice. Because this one is from 13 years ago. And I've listened to a podcast episode of it. And as someone who walked the streets of San Francisco at like 6 a.m. during like, what is it, daylight savings or whatever, whichever one goes dark first, I sort of vibed with the street. I had like headphones on and I just kind of like I minded my own business. I went through it. Yeah. But after listening to this on the ferry for a couple of weeks, walking to work, I no longer took shortcuts. I started walking with the business people, and I was like, but then after it, I was just like, it's fine, it's whatever. This one is from 13 years ago on the Let's Not Meet thread. Okay. Reddit. This one's called Smiling Man. Okay. So the thing about Let's Not Meet is supposed to be like all true. Don't lie, blah, blah, blah. If you're talking about somebody, redact. Okay. So the Smiling Man. About 5 years ago, I lived downtown in a major city in the US. I've always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person, went to sleep. To pass the time, I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking. I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommate that even the drug dealers in the city were polite, but all of that changed in a few minutes of one evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was walking near a police-patrolled park quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I turned down a short side street in order to loop back to my apartment when I first noticed him. At the far end of the street, on my side, was the silhouette of a man dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me. Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him a majority of the sidewalk to pass me by. The closer he got, the more I realized how gracefully he was moving. He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit. He danced closer still until I could make out his face. His eyes... Okay, sorry. Every time I get to this part, I'm like, fuck my life, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He danced closer still until I could make out his face. His eyes were wide open and wild, head tilted back slightly, looking off at the sky. His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes and the smile, I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off him to cross the empty street. God damn it! Sorry! Wait a minute. Okay.
Lock in, JD.
All right, lock in. Okay. I took my eyes off of him to cross the empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back. Fuck. Sorry. He had stopped dancing and was dancing with one foot on the street, perfectly parallel to me. He was facing me, but still looking skyward, smile still wide on his lips. I was completely and utterly unnerved by this. I started walking again, but kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. Oh my God! Sorry.
I knew I could see you like prepare, like reading ahead on that one.
I had to
Yeah.
make sure. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing to find him gone. Oh, for the briefest of moments, I felt relieved until I had noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure due to the distance in the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me. I had looked away from him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear that he moved fast. Sorry. I saw a shadow.
Yeah. That's enough for you.
Oh my God. I was so shocked that I stood there for some time staring at him. And then he started moving toward me again. He took giant, exaggerated, tiptoed steps as if he were a cartoon character sneaking up on someone, except he was moving very quickly. I'd like to say at this point I ran away or pulled out my pepper spray or my cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't. I just stood there completely frozen as the smiling man crept toward me. And then he stopped again, about a car length away from me. That's too close. Still smiling, his smile, still looking to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I blurted out the first thing that came to mind. What I meant to ask was, "What the fuck do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone. What came out was a whimper. What the fuck? Regardless of whether or not humans can smell fear, they certainly can hear it. I heard it in my own voice. That only made me more afraid, but he didn't react to it at all. He just stood there smiling. Then, after what felt like forever, he turned around very slowly and started dance walking away, just like that. Not wanting to turn my back to him, I just watched him go until he was far away enough to almost be out of sight. Oh my God. Sorry. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing. I watched in horror as the distant shape of him grew larger and larger. He was coming back my way, and this time he was running. I ran too. I ran until I was off the side road and back onto a better lit road with sparse traffic. Looking behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of the way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that night, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look high. He looked completely and utterly insane. And that's a very, very scary thing to see. And as you can tell, while I was reading that, I was reading ahead to just verify that I was getting two parts that really scared me. But listening to that for the very first time,
scary for you.
it's still scary for me. It has like all the aspects of things that would scare me, right? When I first heard that on the ferry, going to work that day, dark, I was like, I'm walking with a businessman. Fuck my life. Fuck my entire life. And I told you, like, weeks. But then, like, slowly to me, I was like, it's still going to be scary no matter how much I reason with it, where I'm like, this could just be a guy who's like, oh, someone's walking alone at night. Time to scare the shit out of them in a way that's like low-key hilarious, right? Because on the other side of the story could be just like a normal guy on Reddit who's like, freaked a guy out last night by dancing fucking weirdly, right?
Possible.
But it still scared the shit out. Like, obviously, I'm reading through that.
Yeah.
Terrifying, right? If I was OP and I was writing this, the shit is gone, right?
Yeah.
And in the replies to this is the first time I read it, like a couple, maybe like 2 weeks ago when I was putting this together. They said the first time I told this was to my roommate, who was appropriately mortified. The second time was to a friend who simply joked, "Sounds like he was just trying to party with you." So that was like both of me, right?
Right. Yeah.
After freshly reading it, and
JD contains multitudes.
I contain multitudes.
Versions. Yeah.
I'm like an onion. I have layers and all that stuff. Most of my other friends seem to agree that he was either on drugs or going out of his way to try and mess with me. So that was like my brain rationalizing this whole thing.
Yeah. Right.
And the person continues, and to people comparing him to Slender Man, I should add, he was tall, normal tall. It probably doesn't help my perspective that I'm short. Right? And
like you.
Exactly. And it's this that it was weird to write this out, since I've only ever told it to people in person, where I don't have to try and explain his movement, but can simply act it out. And to anyone doubting the truth of the story, I assure you it happened. I'm not afraid of ghosts, devils, or monsters. It's people that frighten me. So a lot of the responses to this was definitely like, quite possibly one of the best things I've ever read on this thread. And there was someone here, they responded, and I was like, that's exactly what I felt, which was, they said, I was in bed reading this on my phone right before I fell asleep. Big mistake. Why are you on Let's Not Meet at Night? And they said, when I read he was across the street in 10 seconds, they got slapped awake by the imagery alone.
Yeah.
It's like
done.
Like there's parts of this where it's like, this person could definitely just be messing with you, which is like the pausing to look at you and like just doing a little foot across the street, right? He's like, I'm gonna come and get you, and then crouching down and then like running after you. This is definitely like convincingly, this is just a person who's like, I'm walking with another person at night. I'm going to create an environment so frightening.
Yeah.
But that's
James McAvoy behavior.
It's terrifying.
James McAvoy and Split behavior.
I don't like it. I don't like the exaggerated movements. I don't like the the smile, right? I'm notoriously afraid of the smile dog. And then the sort of running at you, right? To be so sure that you're completely okay now because they're walking away. And then turns out they're speeding at you.
Running at you. Yeah. Right.
Like I prepared to read this like when I was putting this together, but still the part where it's describing like the dancing, the smiling, and then the crossing the street to come right after you. I hate this. I hate this. Ratings wise, scary 5. Believability.
I'm sensing all 5s here.
Yeah, 5. Yeah. Storytelling 5. Overall vibe 5. Disgusting. The vibe is deteriorating.
Immaculate one for you.
Like, listen.
Yeah. Perfection.
If this was a scene in the movie, the way that my heart would be going.
Yeah, even reading the Wikipedia article, it would be.
Yeah, even watching it from behind the couch on FX would actually ruin my entire. It would get me more than Squidward's face when I was in high school.
Fair.
Terrifying.
Spooky. Yeah. Believable too, because people.
Yeah, like I said, like this. Yeah, this could be like you could have encountered like a scary cryptid creature, but this also could just be a guy who's like, I'm going to make this environment so terrifying to this one person.
Yeah,
like
ruin their night.
Have you like those videos of those people who are like, I'm a man and there's a woman walking in front of me, so I have to make sure that she's not gonna get scared of me. So they start going like, oh my god, cute shoes, or like that kind of thing. This is the opposite of that person.
The opposite of that. Yeah.
I hate it.
This is like Dennis from It's Always Sunny. Like this is a bad person.
Bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep it in the urban environment. No. Be a night shift security guard. Work in a nice office building in a nice neighborhood. Always just me and one other guard in the entire building. Literally no crime, no problems. Basically just fuck around on the internet all night. Only have cameras on the first floor and parking lot, so if you're on any other floor, you can do whatever. It's literally the cushiest job ever. They've got huge flat screen TVs, Wi-Fi, a nice gym, expensive coffee machines, and a ton of other shit. Every single door is locked by key cards, so the building is extremely secure. Just started shift, go to floor 2. Notice someone left a light on in the south wing. A lot of lights here are motion activated, but this one just uses a light switch. It happens sometimes, so I just turn it off and go back to doing a quick patrol so I can get back to fucking around on the internet. Finish that up. Eventually, the other security guard goes, does another patrol. It's about 2 hours after my shift started, and I go on another patrol to stretch my legs. Go to floor 2, south wing. A motion sensing light is on right next to the light switch I turned off 2 hours ago, which is still off. The motion sensing lights are only supposed to stay on for 15 minutes. Me and the other guard have been sitting next to each other for the last hour. I go back to the security room to tell the other guard about it and ask what he knows what's up with it, if he knows what's up with it. He says that when he was there, the light switch was on. He turned it off himself. I'm 100% sure that I already turned it off. He says he hasn't seen or heard anything, but since there's no security cameras on floor 2, we have no idea. What, if anything, could have activated the light? I decide to go back up to floor 2 to check it out again, and I tell the other guard that if he doesn't hear from me soon, to call my cell phone. Our security company never bothered to issue us radios.
Oh.
Go back up to floor 2. The light switch is back on in the on position. The motion sensing light is still on. At this point, I'm genuinely concerned. Consider just running downstairs and calling the cop. I figure that if it turns out to be nothing, I'd look like a huge F slur. This is, again, a green text. So, docking a point there, writing-wise. Fuck you. Security guard calls police because a light switch was in the wrong position. Decide to check out more of the south wing. I suddenly hear a loud banging noise. I jump a bit and start to freak out. Then I remember that when the AC comes on, it makes a loud banging noise. Calm down and check out the rest of the wing. Only takes another 2 to 3 minutes. No signs of intruders. All doors are locked tight. Nothing broken or missing. Look at my watch and see that I've been at this for about 20 minutes now. Start wondering why the other guard hasn't called me yet. I lean up against an air vent and take out my phone. I start going through my contacts list to call him myself. Hang on a second. The air vent is not blowing any air. Nope. Call the other guard's phone. No answer. Fuck. Log myself in an office. Call 911. I tell the dispatcher what happened, and he says the cops are coming. Ask where I am, and I tell him. Ask if the police will be able to get into the building themselves. Shit. All the doors are locked. Run through the building, down to the main entrance, and run outside. Wait for the cops outside while still on the phone with 911. Cops get there. I let them in and bring them to the security room. There's no sign of the other guard at all. The computer that displays the security cameras is turned off. Well, fuck. Give each of the cops one of the spare security cards so they can search the building. They find no trace of the other guard in the building. His car is still parked in the parking lot. He's still missing to this day.
What the fuck?
Ooh, what happened?
What the fuck?
That was a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah, because now I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
They heard a sound, but the AC didn't turn on, so that could have been like, what? Something attacking the other person, or
maybe? Or just slamming a door. Who knows?
Yeah, or like maybe they saw something on the monitors. They slammed in their haste to leave. They slammed a door open, and they're not calling you back because they're like fucking terrified.
Yeah.
If he's still like, the other thing is I'm still missing to this day, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be that scary that you dip from a job, never call the person back and explain it.
Never call back. Yeah. Dessert. It's a little mystery one. This one.
Yeah, that one's open ended.
It's a head scratcher. Don't know what happened, which I kind of like. I like that they keep it open.
Yeah, because then now we're just like, is it a scary in a supernatural way or in a scary in a other person way?
Or is it not scary at all?
Yeah.
Actually, did the other guard just fuck off?
Yeah, maybe he's using that as an excuse to like
mystery.
Yeah, there's always the there's a lot of stories about like people working like the night shift and all the spooky stuff that happens.
It's a good genre. I like a night shift story for sure. So scare factor.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to be in a situation where I felt like somebody else was in there that's not supposed to be in there, and you're just like, okay. Well, yeah. So I'd go 4.
Yes.
Believability. I think it's believable that something like this could happen. Seems go with 4, 4.5. Writing, I'm docking the point for the F slur, but it is 4chan.
Yeah,
you're gonna deal with that. 3. Overall vibes, night shift, mystery, open-ended. 4.
Yeah, it is. It's like the believability aspect of it is like someone could be breaking in.
Yeah,
right. So that is another scary thing in and of itself, because like they could be shocked that you're there and hurt you in some way.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
I don't like it.
I know the people. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I gotta go wash my hair after recording, but should I do that? At night?
Yeah.
At night. But,
At
oh,
night,
God.
is it safe? Yeah.
I'm tired seeing. Okay. This one is my closer because once again I'm back in suggested reading. So this is one of those ones like, hey, everybody read this. And this one is called A Story to Scare My Son.
Okay.
Right. Okay. There's dialogue in this one. We're not just reading all this, we're voice acting. But okay. All right. The story to scare my son. Son, we need to have a chat about internet safety. I slowly crumpled down on the floor next to him. His laptop was open and he was playing Minecraft on a public server. His eyes were locked into the action. Comments scrolled down the side of his screen in a chat box. Son, can you stop playing your game for a minute? He exited the world, closed the laptop, and looked up at me. Dad, is this going to be another cheesy, scary story? What? I faked hurt feelings for a second and then grinned at him. I thought you liked my cautionary tales. He grew up listening to my stories about children who encountered witches, ghosts, werewolves, and trolls. Like many generations of parents, I use scary stories to reinforce morals and teach lessons about safety. Single dads like me should use all the parenting tools at their disposal. He scrunched his face a little. They were fine when I was 6, but now that I'm getting older, they don't scare me anymore. They seem kind of silly. If you're going to tell a story about the internet, can you make it really, really scary? I squinted at him incredulously. He folded his arms. Dad, I'm 10, and I can handle it. Okay, I'll try. I began. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Colby. His expression indicated that he wasn't impressed with the terror of the introduction. He sighed deeply and settled in for one of Dad's cheesy stories. I continued. Colby went online and joined several children's websites. After a while, he started talking to other kids in-game and on the message boards. He made friends with another 10-year-old boy named Helper23. They liked the same video games and shows. They laughed at each other's jokes. They explored new games together. After several months of friendship, Colby gave Helper23 6 diamonds in a game they were playing. This was a very generous gift. Colby's birthday was coming up, and Helper23 wanted to send him a cool present in real life. Colby figured it wouldn't hurt to give Helper23 his home address, as long as he promised not to tell it to any strangers or grown-ups. Helper23 swore he wouldn't tell anyone else, not even his own parents, and set about mailing the package. I paused the story and asked my son, "Do you think that was a good idea?" "No," he said, shaking his head vigorously. In spite of himself, he was getting into the story. Well, neither did Colby. Colby felt guilty about giving away his home address, and his guilt began to grow and grow. By the time he put on his pajamas the next night, his guilt and fear were larger than anything else in life. He resolved to admit the truth to his parents. The punishment would be steep, but it was worth it to have a clear conscience. He squirmed in his bed as he waited for his parents to tuck him in. My son knew the scary part was coming up. In spite of his tough talk, he leaned forward, wide-eyed. I spoke quietly and deliberately. He heard all the noises outside of the house. The washing machine bounced around the laundry room, branches scraped against the brick outside his room, his baby brother cooed in the nursery, and there were some other noises he couldn't quite pinpoint. Finally, his dad's footsteps echoed down the hall. "Hey, Dad," he called out nervously. "I have something to tell you." His dad stuck his head in the doorway at a weird angle. In the darkness, his mouth didn't seem to move, and the eyes were all wrong. "Yes, son?" The voice was way off, too. "Are you okay, Dad?" the boy asked. "Uh-huh," sung the father in a strangely affected voice. Colby pulled up his covers defensively. Is Mom around?" "Here I am." Mom's head popped into the doorway below Dad's. Her voice was an unnatural falsetto. "Were you about to tell us that you gave our home address to Helper23? You shouldn't have done that. We told you never to give out personal information on the internet." She continued. "He wasn't really a kid. He just pretended to be one. Do you know what he did? He came to our house, broke in and murdered both of us, just so he can spend some time with you." A fat man in a wet jacket emerged in the child's doorway holding the 2 severed heads. Colby shrieked and gasped as the man dropped the heads on the ground, unsheathed his knife, and moved into the room to work on the boy. My son screamed too. He twisted his hands defensively over his face, but we were just getting started with the story. After several hours, the boy was almost dead and his screams had become whimpers. The killer noticed the wailing of a baby in another room and removed his knife from Colby. This was a special treat. He had never murdered a baby before and was excited about the prospect. Helper23 left Colby to die and followed the cries through the house like a homing beacon. In the nursery, he walked to the crib, picked the baby up, and held it in his arms. He moved towards the changing table to get a better look, but as he held the baby, the crying died down. The baby looked up and smiled. Helper 23 had never held a baby, but he gently bounced it in his arms like a pro. He wiped his bloody hands on the blanket so he could stroke the baby's cheek. Hey there, sweet little guy. The beautiful rage of sadism melted into something warmer and softer. He walked out of the nursery, took the baby home, and named him William, and raised him as his very own. After I finished the story, my son was visibly shaken. Between ragged staccato breaths, he stammered, "But Dad, my name is William." I gave him a classic dad wink and tousled his hair. Of course it is, son. William ran up the stairs to his bedroom in a fury of sobs. But deep down, I think he liked the story. Got him.
Got you.
Scare your child. Let's go. The story to scare my son. Have you ever heard that one?
I don't think I have heard that one. It's got real Redditor energy clinging to it, I think.
It kind of a little does.
Yeah.
It's like the more intense version of like, I don't know, like they used to joke when I was younger that like my mom found me in a pile of cow poop. So as one does, you know. Yeah. I look like a troll. I'm half duende, and also I was found in a pile of cow poop. So
getting a lot of roasting material here.
Yeah. So everybody write that down. Make note of it. But yeah, it's very like that kind of thing. Of it's a urban legend developed by your own father.
Yeah, your own father, who was the killer the whole time.
Well, plot twist for you.
Little plot twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the ratings.
Rating. Scary.
Yeah.
I think that because it seemed to be told in jest, it wasn't as scary.
Yeah.
But if it was from the point of view of the child as an adult, this would be a very good, like, what is it, Blumhouse? Movie of like that kind of thing. So scary wise, it wasn't all. Maybe I'll give it like a 3, right?
Yeah. The killer's kind of doing shticks.
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing bits, dude?
Yeah, right.
What do you mean? Believability, the intensity of it. Like, that's a missing child and then a murdered family, right?
Yeah.
Happens, but that's really intense, right? Right. I'll give it like a 3. Storytelling, the formatting on the website was good, but if you're telling it out loud, not a lot of. I tried to cue it vocally to switch to things. So, but I was like, are you hearing that this is now back to the storytelling? Yeah, that kind of thing. So it was kind of, I'll give that a 3. It felt very just. So it was kind of also a little bit kind of funny in a sense that like, right. And then the overall vibe, I'll give it like a 3.5.
Okay. All right.
You know?
That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
It's a very intense, like, told my child is scary. Like,
it's a C grade.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that one I had read or listened to like several versions of it already, where the other one that I know of is this guy who he gets, it's like during a birthday, he gets like tapes of VHS from like his parent, and then he realizes like the faces of like the family is not like very familiar to him, and then turns out that like all the VHS videos of like the parties and all that stuff was actually from the point of view of his parent, who was stalking his like real family and decided to take the child with him. So variations of that, you know, imagine that. But
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
sick. Yeah, child kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To scare your child by sort of suggesting them that you've kidnapped them from a family that you murdered.
Fuck up your child.
Yeah, those
one way or another.
So I have heard people say that like their parent will like do a little traumatizing thing as like a funny thing, whereas like, you're not my real mom, you're an alien mom, and then the parent will just go shh And that's like,
Yeah.
as a child, hello?
Mhm. Yeah, right. They don't know right from wrong. Yeah. It's like that thing where it's like the alpha male shit where it's like every time I see the men of this generation, and it's like over like a compilation of like femboys like hip swaying, you know. I'm thankful that my dad used my belt on me, like that kind of energy to it, you know. Where it's like I'm glad my parents fucked me up and made me angry and horrible,
so I don't turn into.
So
Get a different backstory, man. God.
yeah, come on, get the fuck out of here. No one cares. Go to therapy. Everyone should. It's
yeah,
a good thing.
yeah.
It's good. There's something to learn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my closer. I used to work in the gas industry as a geologist. From 2007 to 2009, I was on contract with a Russian company called North Gas, back when industrial relations with the UK were still fairly cordial. There was lots of potential gas sites in the Siberian region far up north, and I used to go around potential sites with the company and borehole engineers, usually in groups of 2 to 3. Anyway, I was at one site in northern Siberia with a German engineer in late October of 2008. It took ages to get to and completely was devoid of human habitation, but really beautiful taiga. Endless forest on the drive up there. There's a response. You drove a van through the taiga, and then his response, yeah, I'm not a car nut, but it was some modified Jeep that the engineer guy would not just shut the fuck up about, all the way back from Noyabrsk. Anyway, the site we went to survey was fairly typical of what you expect in the industry at these sort of locations. Now to the story. We came to a location where satellite imagery was suggesting that permafrost was retreating. It still fucking snows and ices over, of course, but the key point is that it's not entirely frozen over. You can install stuff during summer months, get gas production up. It was a pretty boring landscape though. Very thin topsoil giving way rapidly to permeable siltstone. Lots of these natural holes all over the place too. Permafrost plugs that had melted and left 20 to 30 meter deep holes dotted all around the place. We decided to stay a few weeks and do some test surveys. First week was completely fine. Got some good locations, things progressing smoothly. By the end of that week, though, things were getting a little weird. Every time I would go out with a spectrometer after that first week, I'd occasionally hear some noises from the holes. I was never near them, because while you get a lot of gas coming off these things, they're not terribly good for industrial drilling. It was just faint, just on the border of hearing. I never knew how to describe the noises until a few years later when someone took me out to a jazz bar, and some guy was playing a violin-like instrument that made this drone noise like a boom. Disconcerting. Makes your hair stand up. My colleague would notice this too. Disconcerting. As in this job, you're not really working together, but apart. So 2 of us were hearing stuff out there. We were both rational people, at the time for me at least, so we put it down to cave noises. Laugh, forget it. About 10 days into the survey, it started happening at night. Again, faintly, but really ominous. That drone noise. We used to sleep in the back of the van that we brought, but even through the doors we could hear it. Again, stop being stupid. It's cave noises. Laugh, have a few beers, go to sleep. It gets worse from there. The day after, I found some slime stuff around the permafrost boreholes. Yeah, you get lichens and mosses around these things. It's not an issue. But this was like petroleum jelly. It was really viscous stuff. I touched it and immediately regretted it. It felt a lot like pork belly fat. It was warm too, which was really disturbing, considering it was -5 degrees Celsius for you American. During the day out there, bring around the German engineer to take a look. He looks troubled. For the rest of the day, I was constantly on edge too. I kept looking back at the borehole too, just to check, I kept saying to myself. Things got worse at night. That drone noise got a lot worse, but it felt, and I know that's a shit way of putting it, like it wasn't coming from below, but above, on the surface. My German engineer tried to laugh it off, but I could tell he was seriously disturbed by it. That low foom. Eventually, we got to sleep. God knows how many hours later, though, we wake up because there is definitely something attempting to open the door handle to the passenger seat of the van. Click, click, click. And now that drone is right fucking outside, and it sounds a lot like gurgling. At this point, we both freak the fuck out and scream like a pair of little girls. It stops, we don't sleep for the rest of the night, and it doesn't come back. The next day, as soon as we make it to 9 a.m., we cautiously open the doors. The entire back door is covered in this pork fat shit. The place reeked of something rotten, too. The passenger's door is smeared in that stuff. But the thing that made us immediately go, fuck it, we're leaving, was the passenger side window, which was also smeared with a skunk. It had an outline on it, like something had pressed its skull into the fat stuff and left an outline. It was unmistakably some sort of elongated human skull with no eye orbitals. Jelly stuff was all over the area around us too, and a fucking course led all the way to that borehole. We got out of there very fast after that, but as we were packing that drone shit started coming from the hole, and it was loud. It was guttural by this point, whatever the shit was making down there, and it was close to. The German guy went pretty nuts after that. Just hopped in, immediately started going. Equipment that was still out there for methane measurements just left. Didn't stop driving for the next 14 hours. I pretty much ditched my job soon after that. I had no desire to be like that again in the middle of places like that. German guy I never heard from again. He never really talked about it with me anyway. And then response, nice story, thank you for posting. And he says, thanks, I suppose. I guess distance from that event makes it sound pretty prosaic. Spooky noises, ooh, ooh, slime, ooh, ooh. During that night, though, I was convinced I was going to die. You know that you can just know when something or something, like an animal, is nice or curious or just about to fuck you up. I knew instinctively that whatever it was wanted to get in and didn't want to crack a beer and talk to us about geology, if you get my drift. Anyway, I spent a long time after I had calmed down about it, which took a few months in fact, to think of a rational reason for this, every time though, I kept butting up against the inexplicable. Sure, drone could be the cave noises, but the warm slime stuff like guttural noises. Around 2012, I got into reading a lot about frozen mammoths and the worry about viruses from the taiga that they were expecting to come from climate change, and at that point, I went full /X and said, fuck it, frozen monster. Another mystery to go out on. Yeah.
The sort of
chose that one because it was gross. I was like, oh, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah, the like
slimy monster.
Like pork belly fat. Pork belly fat when it's cold and all.
Yeah, smeared everywhere.
I don't like the insistence of trying to come in through the passenger door because the idea of it succeeding. Yeah. We're not getting the story from OP.
No, you're not getting that story. It wouldn't happen. Be just a blank the history books.
Yeah, and I understand those instruments may be very expensive, but the idea of it getting close, listen, you can get them again. Yeah. They're going to be expensive. You can get them again. You cannot live again.
No,
I'd rather live and tell the story over and over again instead of
than die for natural gas.
Yeah,
exploitation of the taiga. Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah. It's a gross one to go out on, but we're going out on it. Scare factor. To me, this is a 5 because it's just like you're so far out there. You're like dealing with something. You're seeing the evidence of it, and it's just kind of like that slow build up. Like it's like okay, first you're just hearing the droning, and then you're finding the stuff, and then it's finally like ready to come fuck you up. You know. Mm-hmm. And believability. Mm-hmm. I'd go high on this one because I think it is just like. I like their kind of positioning of them. I feel like the positioning of themselves is like I'm not like super into this stuff, but like this kind of changed my perspective. It fucked me up. I consider myself a rational person. I don't know what this was. I'm into that. It's like a framing. So I'll go 4 on that. Writing. English, not the first language. Not gonna knock that though. I think that's I go 3.5, maybe light 4. And then overall vibe, I'm going high on the vibe. I'll give it a 5. I feel like being out there in the remote, like the taiga, like one of the biggest wildernesses in the world, basically alone, working alone with just like this one German engineer guy, and something out there kind of stalking you.
Yeah. There's something about of course things gets described as like slimy and all this stuff, but there's something so real about saying. It was kind of like pork belly fat. That's such a specific thing to say.
Right.
I don't. It's
evocative.
Yeah. Because you know the feeling of pork belly fat. Yeah.
If you do.
Yeah. As someone who used to go to Korean barbecue, as someone who was actually at Korean barbecue on this Saturday.
Yeah. Who still attends the Korean barbecue.
Yeah. So it's like. Yeah. But I could see this as like a movie that's only got like 2 people in it, plus like who's that one actor who likes to play all those crazy monsters? But like just those 2, just cap it at that. The incredible whiteness.
Yeah, Siberian wolves. Yeah. If you want to keep it American, you can just set it in Alaska. Same as
right. This is the American adaptation. It's oh god, I don't like that. Yeah. being just alone with someone who's also equally scared with you.
Yeah.
Despite you both trying to rationalize it.
Yeah.
That's us on our Destination America television show.
Yeah, shout out Destination America. Come sign us.
Peace.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, you gonna sleep okay?
No, I just like momentarily remembered stupid Mr. Man on the street.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Well, we got some good fodder there. Some good spooks were had.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was not really written, but it is produced.
It was
as always
read.
Read by Ben and JD. Our music is all provided by Yager Frank. That's about it.
Yeah.
Catch you on the next episode.
Bye.